Hi there, Nicole Allison. As you can see, I am in my home, my playroom, actually, the kids' playroom. I've got my little kitchen over here. Um, and I am going to be kind of talking and walking you through how you can use Zoom with some of the no print resources that you might have, or I've got a whole section in my store devoted to no print or teletherapy resources that you can use. And I kind of want to show you how they are different than just a typical PDF file, and how it's really cool and really easy to use this with Zoom. Now, I'm still figuring this out, so we're all in this together. We're all learning together, but there are some really neat features that I've discovered. So what I've done with Zoom is I just have installed the app on my computer. I've opened it up and I've clicked Start New Meeting. That's where I'm at here. So you can invite your students using their contact information and share the screen with them. So then I'm going to want to share my screen. So I'm going to press this button here, Share Screen. And I'm going to want to share my desktop right here so that they can see everything that is on my desktop and whatever I do. So this is what it looks like. I'm right here in this corner, and then they can see my screen. So I've got a little file over here with a lot of my no print resources, and I'm gonna be going over the language decks today and just how easy they are to use. So these are pretty much just like language deck cards that you would use in therapy. So I have an expressive pack, a receptive pack, and a social language pack. So let's look at the expressive pack here. And what they include, you can print out some scorecards because you can turn this into a little game. They include printable data sheets, and they're all in the right order. So as you're going through these words, I do think it's really helpful, especially for goals like antonyms and synonyms and multiple meaning words, that you have a list out and you're keeping track of which words they have learned and which words they might need to practice more, so that you can go through and review those ones that they need practice with a little bit more. So I have those if you want to print those out. And then on page 10 is the main menu. And you can see that here. So this is the main menu. This is the home screen. And when you click any of these buttons, you're taken to that task. So if the student is working on antonyms, you just click it and you're taken to antonyms. So here is what it would look like. Name the antonym of inside. Now I'm going to drag my cursor up and these little buttons show up. Here's the annotate button if you want to mark up on the PDF. Now, if you want to be the only one to mark on the PDF and you don't want your student to be able to do that, you're going to go over here to More, and you're going to click this Disable Attendee Annotation. So that means the student would not be able to mark on the PDF, only you would be able to. If you wanted them to be able to mark on it, you would just leave that alone. So I'm going to press Annotate here and just show you some of the tools. So here's your regular mouse button, your select button. This is for text. So if I press this and I click, I can just type right on there, outside. Here's my draw button. So this is more like a pencil. Here's a marker. Here's if you want to make some rectangles. This would just be a border rectangle. This would be like a highlight rectangle. This would be a solid rectangle, and same with circle or oval. This is cool. This is a stamp. So you could just go through here and stamp if they got it correct. Yes, woohoo. Or if they didn't, you could use the X. The eraser is just gonna erase everything that you did. And then this format button, this changes the color of your text or draw and the width. And then here's the font that changes the text. So if you want to make, when you type on it, if you want to make that smaller or bold or italicized, you would use that format. I'm going to go back to mouse because that's how you navigate the PDF. So you have these next buttons, and you also have the home button if you want to go home. I'm going to show you one here. If you come to, okay, here's one. If you come to a bummer card, this is just where you can utilize it as a game. They would lose 1 point. So when you're keeping track of those points, you could turn it into a game really easily. If they land on this card, they lose 1 point. And those are interspersed within the deck. So you have, for the expressive language pack, you have antonyms, synonyms, multiple meaning words, asking questions, giving directions, sequencing, explaining, describing, and compare and contrast. You have all these different tasks on the expressive language deck. Here's the receptive language deck. So same kind of thing, you have the printable scorecards and then all the data sheets. And then here's the task that you would have for the receptive language deck. You'd have WH questions, inferencing, main idea, following directions, associations, and predicting. And then this is the one I wanted to talk about, is the social language deck. Now, social language, I just got to say, it's going to be a little bit tricky, I think, during these next few weeks or however long we're out of school to really super effectively work on social skills, because we can't really do a social group. You know, people are limiting their social interaction just even within communities. So they're not going to get a ton of practice that way, but you can use these cards to kind of get the student thinking about these different scenarios and practicing putting themselves in that situation and thinking through some of these problems and providing solutions to these. So I'm going to show you, here's the printable scorecards and here's the data sheets again. So the skills that are worked on in this packet are things like, how would you feel? I'll just go to that. You borrowed your sister's new sweater and spilled sauce on it. How would you feel? And they would have to verbalize that. How would they feel? So how would someone else feel? Bill and Joe are best friends. Bill was invited to a party, but Joe was not. How would Joe feel? So putting themselves in a person's situation. Show me the emotion. This is something really easy that you can do over your computer because you can see their face. So you read them a card. Show me how you would feel if your dad said you were in trouble. Well, hopefully they're not like, you know, clapping for joy and really happy about that. They can kind of show you that emotion. Interpreting idioms and proverbs. This would be a really good one to work on just during this time to get up some of that figurative language, give some of that practice. Name the problem and solution. So these give some problems. Your friend Courtney sits next to you in class. Every time the teacher talks, Courtney starts to whisper. You don't want to get in trouble. What's the problem? What's the solution? So just getting them to think through some of these things and provide some of that practice at home. And then being polite in manners. So some simple ones. So this is a pack, like I said, I sell in my store, but this is just really easy. And you can use all these annotation buttons. Once again, I have the expressive language pack, the receptive, and the social one. And so instead of doing cards in therapy, you're just doing them right here on your computer, which is pretty neat. And hopefully they can get in some of that good practice that way. If you have any questions about Zoom, reach out to me. I will do my best to answer these. I cannot promise I will know the answer, but I will look into it for you. I will ask around. There are a lot of people that are much better at this kind of stuff than me. So I will do my very best. But of course, if you have any questions about any of my no print resources, I can answer those. So please reach out and ask those to me. But we're all in this together. We are all trying to figure out this new system of providing therapy via computer. So whatever we can do to help each other. Hopefully this meeting was hopefully this was helpful. And if you like to see these, just let me know. And I'll try to provide more of these with some of my other no print and teletherapy resources. All right, I will talk to you later. Hope you have a great week. Bye-bye.